Hello CCS, it is good to be with you again this week on the Eagle Express. Today we had our first open house of the 2021 enrollment season, and we had a great turnout today with several families. I believe all of the families that came today are going to be enrolling. In fact, most of them had already submitted their applications before the open house. And so as we begin this week's video, I wanted to start out by talking a little bit about enrollment. And I know we have a lot of new families at Coventry Christian Schools this year. And so it's really important that you understand the enrollment process at Coventry Christian Schools so that you put yourself in the best position to make sure you have a seat for the fall. Because it's not a guarantee, especially this year, because we are looking at very significant enrollment numbers for next school year. In fact, based on our preliminary projections, we think that maybe as many as 8 of our K through 12 grades may have more demand than what we can accommodate. In fact, we're expecting to have more demand than we can fit into a class in 8 grade levels. Now, of course, if we get enough enrollment, we will split those classes. Like we have this year, we have 4 grade levels that are split, and next year we think we may have as many as 8 grade levels that need to be split. And so I wanted to just review with everyone our enrollment season that we are kicking off. So on Tuesday, next week, you are going to get an email invitation to complete your child's re-enrollment. That email is going to include the tuition information for next year. We do have a modest tuition increase that we have approved, our Board of Trustees approved for next school year. And so all of that information will be available to you, but you will need to log in and complete your re-enrollment forms in order to let us know that you're planning for your kids to be back at CCS. And so you'll have a couple of weeks where all of our current families are able to submit their re-enrollment forms before we open up to new families. But it's really important that you do that as soon as you can for 2 reasons. First, it helps us to make our budget plans to know how many students that we have. But secondly, it is not a guarantee that you'll have a seat at CCS next fall if we have too many students enroll and don't have the ability to split a class. It could create a situation where we have to turn people away. And this year, we have an added dynamic that there are about 25 Coventry Christian School students who took this year off because of COVID. So they were at CCS last year and in many cases for several years, but for different reasons they decided not to be here this year, but they're planning to come back next fall. There's about 25 of those students. And so those students are going to be invited to enroll again with us on February 12th. And so our existing families, you have until then to get your re-enrollment in. And then we're going to open it up to those returning families. And then on February 19th, we're going to open up enrollment to new families. And here's the thing, we already have about 24 applications for new enrollments. Okay, 24 already in hand, which is much higher than we ever have in the past several years at least have received at this point. Usually we get most of our new family applications in February and March. And so we're seeing significant increased demand for next fall already compared to what we normally see in January. And so we are anticipating a large interest in the school again. And so we just really want to emphasize how critical it is that you complete your paperwork and get that back to us if you want to be here in the fall. If you have any questions when you get that email next week, you can certainly give us a call or send us an email. We'll be happy to walk you through that process, especially those of you who are new. The next thing that I wanted to take a moment I really was blown away today. And it's really been an incredible stretch of time for Coventry Christian Schools that has been incredibly humbling, and has brought great joy to me, to our administration, to our board of trustees. And so I wanted to share with all of our Coventry Christian School families some incredible news about the way God has blessed us throughout the past year, in what for so many organizations has been an incredibly difficult time. And it really started back last spring. So when we shut down in March, the decision that we made was that we were going to refund all of our preschool families at 100%. Many private schools and daycares did a prorated or a partial refund, even though they were completely closed. But for our preschool families, we decided that we needed to do what we felt was the right thing based on our tuition agreements, was to just refund all the tuition for the remainder of last school year. But that's a big blow. In terms of dollars, it was about $150,000. But one of the other things that most people don't recognize about Coventry Christian Schools is that we are a religious nonprofit, and as such, we do not participate in the unemployment compensation system. So if we were to lay off our preschool staff, they would not have had any income. And of course, we know that the PPP program ended up coming out, and that blessed us here at CCS. We were able to pay our staff their salaries, even though we were closed in the preschool. But before that came out, we received an anonymous donation of $20,000 that helped us give assurance to our staff, even before the PPP loan, that we were going to continue their income. And it came out of nowhere. We had no idea that money was coming until we opened the envelope, and it was an incredible blessing. So that was the first thing that happened. I think it was about 2 weeks into the lockdown last spring when that happened. And it really blew us away at how God was stepping up to take care of us. But then we got that PPP loan that I described. And then later on in the summer, God blessed us with a grant through the state, through the CARES Act funds, that really helped bolster our finances over the summer. And so God has really provided for our school. And then just a few weeks ago, over the past few weeks, we've experienced several additional blessings that have really, really caused us to stop and be thankful. As you hopefully saw, the video that we sent out, we had an incredible donation of science equipment and supplies, which we were not anticipating. And so that was an incredible blessing that we received. Tens of thousands of dollars worth of science equipment for our students here. And then we launched our Christmas Blessings program for our teachers. And many of you may not realize, but our teachers currently earn about 60% of the public school, their public school equivalents. So our teachers are working at a significantly reduced salary as to what they might be able to earn at a public school. And so that Christmas Blessing program that we operate to give our teachers a bonus at the holiday season is really, really important. And so we launched that effort, and we wanted to raise $15,000, and you all responded and had donated $18,000. And then today, I opened an envelope that was addressed to me here at the school, and inside of that envelope was another anonymous gift of $8,000 to go toward that Christmas Blessings program. And so in total, that means that our community has donated $26,000 to bless our teachers with Christmas bonuses. And I just can't tell you how incredible that is, and how grateful I am that you all would step up and show that generosity to our teachers. Almost 100 people donated to that program. And so thank you so much. And I know that there are many other ways that our families have supported our teacher teachers here throughout the holidays by writing cards and giving other gifts, many other gifts. I mean, they just pile up around the school the week before Christmas break. And so on behalf of the staff here, I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you so much for the way that you all have stepped up and contributed to our teachers. There is much more that I am looking forward to share with you about the ways in which God has provided for our school here, and some incredibly exciting developments that are coming up. In just a couple weeks, we're going to have our annual State of the School report that I'm going to provide to all of you, and we are going to be publishing our Coventry 2025 strategic plan. We've been working on it for a while now, but we're going to roll that out here in just a couple of weeks, and I am so excited about the future that God has for us here at Coventry Christian Schools. And so there is much more exciting news to come, but I just wanted to take a moment and share with you that incredible blessing, some of those incredible blessings that we've received here at CCS. So thank you on behalf of our teachers for all of your generosity and the ways in which you're supporting the school. You know, in a time of great tumult this year, even though it's not been completely carefree, we are doing well, and our school is providing normalcy and security and stability to our families and our students. And so it's just really an incredible time to be a part of Coventry Christian Schools. As I wrap up this video this week, I want to just again encourage you, please re-enroll your kids as soon as that email comes out on Tuesday. And also, we have our Coventry 5K, Pursuit of the Pancake 5K, coming up in March. I believe it's the first in-person 5K that's going to be run in the Pottstown area since last spring when we were all locked down. Just about every race that I know of has been virtual. Well, we're having our 5K March 27th in person, and that's shaping up to be quite the event. Much in line with, for those of you that were there in the fall at our fall festival, the 5K, we're hoping to create a similar type of environment there. So there's a 5K, there's a 1 mile, there's some talk about putting together an obstacle course for the younger kids, and much more. So it's going to be a great event, not just a 5K. And so please be watching for that. There's information in this week's Eagle Express so that you can get from the couch to the 5K and do that in incremental steps here over the next couple of months. So everybody can do it. I'll be doing it, and you can do it too. So please plan to be here and join us for that Coventry 5K event on March 27th. That's all that I have this week. Thank you again for your time, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon in the Eagle Express, and I hope that you enjoy Monday off as we celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Thank you again, and you have a great weekend.